Hello and welcome to Battlefield Recon. On this week's show, ironic safe house massacre, how to get on the Battlefield 4 beta early, Battlefield 4's game-changing Levolution Analysed. All this and more on the web's hottest Battlefield show, Battlefield Recon. Hello, I'm Dan Dawkins, host of Battlefield Recon. I'm joined by Battlefield expert Andy Hartup.
Hello.
Andy, I can think of nothing more dangerous than giving someone a backie on a war zone.
Yeah, you'd be right. Well, if you're in Battlefield 3, that is. Except
in this case, for the enemy. Find out why in the first of this week's Battlefield Moments. And if you like the clip, please click on the link. Our second clip by Mr. Krez brings an ironic twist to the concept of a safe house. Our third clip by XHoHo26 is more of an RPG, as we find out when someone mishears "open your shoot" and creates an opening by shooting.
Yeah, just to give this one a bit of background, it's called Sweet Revenge. Now what you don't see is before this clip, inside the building that the guy ends up in, he's just been killed just by an ordinary person, and you see what happens when he respawns. So here we go.
Clip number 4, a twist on Death from Above. Number 5, our final clip today. Last week we showed you a 3-kilometre sniper shot and I thought, dang, that's unfair, the guy didn't even have a chance, he didn't get close. This is exactly the opposite. In today's news section, the news we've all been waiting for, the announcement of the Battlefield 4 beta, and how to get on the Battlefield beta 3 days early, which is quite a decent amount of time if you're willing to play through.
Yeah, well, you know how they say a week's a long time in politics. Well, 3 days is a long time in Battlefield, I can assure you.
Absolutely. So how will I, if I wanted to, get involved with Battlefield on October the 1st, which is the first possible day I could do it, how could I do that?
Okay, if you want to get in on October the 1st, there's 3 ways to do it. Well, I say 3 ways to do it. I think you've sort of missed the window on a couple of them. So the first one is you've got to pre-order the Battlefield 4 PC Digital Deluxe Edition. That gives you access to the beta on the 1st of October. Alternatively, you could sign up and be part of the Battlefield 3 Premium member. And for the people who bought Medal of Honor Warfighter Limited Edition or the Digital Deluxe Edition, you can join in the beta on the 1st of October. For everyone else,
yeah,
the public beta starts on the 4th of October.
Okay, so it's the agonising 3-day wait then?
Yeah, the agonising 3-day wait.
I can live with that. So,
yeah.
like, what can I expect from the beta, and what do you think DICE are hoping to achieve with it?
Well, you can expect to be playing the Siege of Shanghai map, which you saw at E3, which has got the big skyscraper in it that collapses. We've all seen that. So I imagine for the first few days, for those people who are exclusively in the beta, that's all they're going to be trying to do, just knock down the skyscraper again and again.
Yeah,
but hey, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it is going to be a lot of fun. Now, a lot of people might question why you would do a beta less than a month before the game's out, because the game's out at the end of October in the US and in November in the UK. So what is the point of that? Well, the point is anyone who's played Battlefield knows that DICE continue to monitor how people are playing the game and to update it if things are overpowered, if people are doing exploits, all sorts of little balancing issues. And they start that with the beta, so it's almost as if they're getting their balancing issues started before they release the game.
Right.
So it's really, really useful for them to get all that telemetry data and to start thinking about how they're going to support the game after it's been released.
Now, is the beta, is it just limited to PC, or can I play on other platforms and consoles?
No, it's PC and all current gen consoles, because obviously the next gen ones aren't out. So yeah, you can play it on all 3 of those platforms.
Nice. Now, if I go in on the 4th day of the beta, will I be fighting against the guys who've been there for the first 3 days? Will I effectively be like boiled meat put into the sea full of sharks?
Yes.
Aha, great. That's great news. Okay, well, I look forward to a killing there. But we're going to switch now to our analysis section, where we're going to look at one of the key game-changing features of Battlefield 4. This is called Levolution, for reasons that I hope Andy can explain, because I don't know.
I can.
Brilliant.
There we go.
I think I can guess.
Otherwise, it's going to be a really long rest of the video, isn't it? With us just sort of sitting around humming.
Or you explain. Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, you're trying to explain to me why it's a pun on level evolution. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes.
I was right. I knew I was right. So, Andy, explain to me, what's Levolution and how is it different to just plain damage in the environment?
Okay. Levolution is, well, obviously it's a hybrid name, but it is, as the name suggests, it's an evolution of the way that you interact with the level. Now, of course, Battlefield has been about destruction for quite a while, but it's not. But Levolution isn't strictly about destroying the level. So, Levolution happens on a number of different scales. It can be anything big, from destroying a skyscraper and changing the way that the level plays, because when you've eliminated such a huge object and you're fighting in its rubble, then that changes the way you play. But it's also about doing little things as well, like cutting the power in a room to make it dark, so that you, with your night vision goggles, can see, whereas other players that have been pursuing you might not have that set up. So they won't be able to see. So you've got the advantage to sort of turn the tides on.
I mean, we can see the clips on screen. I guess it gives you almost a Batman-style advantage, in that you're using the environment and your tech advantage to your favour, where you see the guy with the night vision goggles taking people out unawares. I particularly enjoyed the bit of someone sneaking up for a knife kill, but jumping onto a car as he went to do it, and the car's alarmed. So, obviously the guy goes, "What's that car alarm behind me?" Turns around and kills the guy before he can stab him. I thought that was quite cute.
Yeah, and that's going to work well in tandem with knife counter kills, which we will probably talk about in a later episode, where if you're aware that someone's coming to stab you, you can turn around, and if you're facing them from the front, you're going to have the option to counter kill them with a knife.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, do you know how that will be, done through gameplay? Would it be like button presses, do you think?
Yeah, it will be, yeah.
Oh, nice. Sounds good. Okay, what else can you tell us about Levolution? Or can you give us a specific example,
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've seen a lot of examples of Levolution through various videos that DICE have released. And it's anything from, collapsing big structures like masts. You can flood a whole city in one of the levels. So obviously,
I saw that.
That changes the tactics enormously. Down to little things like shooting fire extinguishers to blind enemies, and you can even set debris to drop in water bodies to create waves, and it's going to affect people's field of vision, things like that. It's immense. But let me give you an example from the Paracel Storm map, which they showed off at Gamescom. You destroy a weakened turbine by doing this, so that the turbine's holding it back essentially. And once you destroy that, it crashes into the beach. Now, big deal. It looks really nice, right? Now, this changes the gameplay immensely, because not only have you got a massive object blocking the beach now, so you have to fight round and over it.
Right.
It's not there anymore, so that changes your tactics. You can also climb on board the destroyer and use its anti-aircraft weapons against any planes or helicopters that are flying overhead. So you've essentially beached an enormous anti-aircraft placement right in the middle of the map.
Yeah, it sounds... I mean, for me, Levolution sounds like a really exciting feature in the game. I feel like it really changes things up. I particularly enjoyed even the small things, like you could see a clip where a guy had thrown a grenade into a train carriage.
Yeah.
And while the guys inside were floundering around trying to escape, he just shut the doors.
Yeah.
So they had to sit there and get exploded,
Yeah.
which would be quite depressing.
You're going to have to watch where you walk in that game. I mean, there's all sorts of possibilities for really sort of playing with people. If you're following them and you don't know, and they don't know that you're there, you're going to be able to do all sorts to them. I quite like the idea of being able to sort of open and close doors. I mean, it sounds like such a stupid thing because, oh wow, you can open and close a door.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really, if you've got like an enforced door or something like that, you can close the door and essentially escape from people who are pursuing you. And then, you could maybe blow a hole in the wall on the other side of the room and make your escape. And, it's just, I think more than anything, Levolution's going to reward players who think creatively when they're playing Battlefield. And, for a lot of people, when you go online, it's often about who's got the quickest trigger finger or who knows the map best. Well, if you can play with the map and you can think creatively, then I really think that that's going to help you out against the people who are maybe quicker and know the map better than you.
Okay, well, time is against us, so I'll have to close the doors on this week's show. If you'd like more from us, please follow us on @Battlefield Recon, which is our Twitter address. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have your clips, especially for the top 5 Battlefield moments up front. But also, your feelings and thoughts about the beta and anything else you want to know about Battlefield, please stay in touch. Please like and subscribe. That is fantastic if you can do that. And until next week, we'll see you then.